going to try to get through it as quickly as we can. This is a code enforcement hearing for the City of North Miami, and today is July 3rd, 2013, and happy 4th of July to everyone. My name is Beatrice Cazot, and I am the Special Magistrate for the City of North Miami. The purpose of this hearing is to determine if a code violation exists at your property as observed and cited by the code enforcement officer of this city. If the city is not able to prove its case, then I will dismiss the case and you may leave. These proceedings are being recorded. Therefore, all persons who are speaking should do so one at a time to ensure that all testimony is clearly audible on the recording device. If English is not your primary language, then please inform me when I call your case. We have a translator who will assist you during the proceedings. Actually, I don't see one here, but if one is needed, we know where to find him, I hope. When your case is called, the property owner, agent for the property owner, or any witness that you may have should come forward to the podium on the left side of the room. When asked, please speak directly into the microphone and say aloud your name, your business or mailing address, and your relationship to the property. If you are not the property owner or an attorney representing the property owner, then you must present a notarized power of attorney affidavit in order for your testimony to be taken on behalf of the property owner. For new cases, you will be asked for the record if you are aware of and understand the violation that is being heard today. And do you understand what is required to resolve the violation? Please answer accordingly. The city will present its case first, and then the property owner will be given an opportunity to testify on their own behalf, to bring forward witnesses to testify, to present evidence and photographs, and to cross-examine the city's witnesses. Following the case presentation, I will issue a finding of fact on the case. If I find that a violation of city codes exists or existed at your property, then depending on the case type, I will set an abatement date for the violation to be resolved. Or for repeat violations, I will impose a daily fine amount. For new non-repeat cases, my order will include an abatement date by which you must resolve the violation and a daily fine amount that I may impose at a future hearing date should the violation not be resolved by the abatement date. If I find sufficient cause to postpone enforcement action at this time, I will table the case proceeding to another hearing date in the future. If you do not agree with my finding of fact and or ruling, then the property owner may appeal the administrative order on the case to the circuit court. An appeal must be filed within 30 days of the date of the execution of the administrative order to be appealed. In accordance with Florida statutes, if a person decides to appeal any decision made by the special magistrate with respect to any matter considered at these proceedings, then the person will need a verbatim record of the proceeding. This record includes the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based. The cost of obtaining the verbatim record shall be the sole responsibility of the appellant, and it is recommended that persons who plan to appeal their case should provide their own court reporter at this proceedings. Pursuant to city codes, if the City of North Miami prevails in prosecuting a case before the special magistrate, the city shall be entitled to recover all costs incurred in prosecuting the case. The current cost assessment amount is $100 per case. Once the city records an order that imposes a fine and authorizes a lien against the property, then the city will charge additional administrative fees to record and release the lien. Mr. Graham, do you want to swear everybody in and we can do the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes. If you are giving testimony in a case this evening, if you would, please rise. Raise your right hand. And then remain standing after the oath for the Pledge of Allegiance. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please say, I do.
I do.
If you will join me, place your right hand over your heart and join me in the pledge of allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Mr. Graham, if you can announce if we have any additions, deletions to the hearing agenda.
Yes, Your Honor, we do. We have a number of cases that have complied and some cases that will be postponed to another hearing calendar, starting with the agenda with item number 1. Abul Haseb, case CEEXP 2013-00077 is complied. Agenda item 2, Alain Ducasse, CEXP 2012-00258 is complied. Agenda item 3, Anna Sanchez, CESWR 2013-00002 postponed to August. Item 5, Betty Walker, CESHD 2013-00001 has complied. Item 6, Beverly K. Lowe, CEPFY 2013-00050 is complied. Item 7, Carlos and Norma Brun, CEXP 2013-00067 is complied. Turning to the next page. Item number 9, Citibank NH Trust, CEDRP 2013-00001 postponed to August. Item 10, Daniel and Lois Newton, CEODS 2013-00021 postponed to August. Item 11, Denise McMahon, CERCV 2013-00031 complied. Item 12, Dr. Albert and Beverly Rossman, CELSC 2013-00001 postponed to September. Item 14, Ernest M. Jimenez, CEMHO 2013-00005 has complied. Item 15, Exalina Noel, CEJNK 2013-00060 has complied. Item number 16, Fannie Mae, CEXP 2013-00094 is complied. Turning to the next page. Item number 18, Franklin Squire, CEMHS 2013-00003 is complied. Item 20, Helene Desir, CEBNP 2013-00027 has complied. Item 21, Henry S. Bonas, CEXP 2013-00061 is complied. Item 25, Jeffrey Daniels, CEIVY 2013-00107 has complied. Turning to the next page. Item number 27, Jonathan Jimenez, CEMHO 2013-00020 is complied. Item 28, Joseph and Antoni Kelly, CEEXP 2013-00044 has complied. Item 29, Jewel and Betty Balaban, CELDR 2012-00021 is postponed to August. Item 30, Keystone Jewish Center, Inc., CESDM 2013-00005 postponed to August. Item 32, Lionel T. Moore, CEIVY 2013-00011 is complied. Item 34, Mikanord Meadow, CEMHO 2013-00003 is complied. Item 35, MP Leadenhall Inc., CEMHA 2013-00003 is complied. Item 36, Near Corinne LLC, CEBLR 2013-00013 is complied. Turning to the next page. Item number 38, Pedro Juan Sad, case CEPFY 2013-00088, removed from calendar. Item 39, Raymond and Chrismine Delcine, CEMHO 2013-00027, postponed to September. Item 40 and 41, Rosina Monteiro and Jocelyn Azamar, CEIVY 2013-00111 and CEPFY 2013-00064 have both complied. And item number 43, U.S. Bank National Association, CEXP 2013-00075 is removed from the calendar. Your Honor, those are the amendments to the evening agenda. And if you are ready to proceed, we will call the first case.
We're ready.
Okay. Okay. 13. Let me pull that up. Right, we'll begin with the agenda item number 3131, Lazaro Grails for the property at 1070 Northeast 130th Street. This is Miss Christie's case. Case number CEEXP 2013-00087. This is a new case opened by Ms. Christie on May 9, 2013. For exterior main residence, the awning is discolored, shows signs of dirt buildup, and needs to be cleaned and possibly painted. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Would you please state your name for the record and your relationship to the property?
Okay, my name is Lazaro Jose Graels. The property is 1017 Northeast 130th Street, and I'm the former owner of the house. And when I say former owner, is because the house is in foreclosure, and I talked 3 times already with an agent from the code enforcement, and I explained what is the situation. I have proof here that the house was supposed to be in short sale. I mean, it wasn't short sale, it's still in short sale, and it's supposed to be closing either the 18th or the 24th of last month.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me stop you there because I would like Ms. Christie to explain first what she saw at the property, and then we'll give you an opportunity to ask her any questions you have, and then make your presentation to the court. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Grails. Ms. Christie.
Evelyn Christie, Code Compliance. Property was cited for exterior cleaning of the awnings back in May. I did speak to the property owner, who did mention to me that he was in foreclosure and short sale. As of today, there has been no changes, and he is still the current owner on record. I do have pictures for the record.
No, I know. I saw the picture. I live there.
Thank you. This is your house, correct,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Grails? Thank you.
All right, Mr. Lazaro, what do you want us to do here today? You've had the opportunity to review the pictures, the photographs, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you understand the violation?
I understand the violation. I see the violation. I know that the house needs to be painted, and they need to be clean and painted too. The reason is this. I lost my 2 jobs that I have 3 years ago. I exhausted already my unemployment. I'm currently unemployed. I do some work as a self-employed. It started last year. And the problem is because the house is being for short sale about 1.5 years. Since February last year, I signed all the papers with Chase. I am aware, completely aware of the situation of the house, but I cannot afford anything like that. Number one, I basically holding the deed of the house. That's the only thing that I do. I don't. So, and when I spoke to her, she said, well, that this violation will be held until the next owner or the next person who take care of that, I mean, buy the property or whatever, will be, in charge of that. It's not that I don't want to. I never been living in a situation like that, unfortunately. If you say go inside my house is full of boxes already ready to go, and apparently now the bank is not complying with the offer that the buyer did. So I'm again in a limbo and I'm in the process to get a written answer from the bank, and I will proceed to do what they call it, the deed and lieu, and see what they can offer. But until I didn't receive any notification of that, unfortunately, I cannot afford that. And besides that, is in this particular case is the bank actually should be, not that has to, but should be in charge of situations like that, because never have any complaint. I mean, I never had any problem like that before. Even the awning, as it shows in the picture, half was clean. The other one was when they started the problem. Actually, I have also an accident not long ago. That's still healing. It was very bad and deprived me for work for 2 months. So it's a lot of things against me, and unfortunately, I'm caught in the middle of the whole situation. And that's all that I have to say. I don't know the city, if I have to assume anything like that, it had to be some kind of arrangement financially, because actually I have enough to pay for the electricity and to the city for not cutting off the water and anything like that. And some food, I'd receive food stamps too. So.
All right. I certainly don't want to add to your burden. If I were to enter a judgment against him, city, that I know it goes with the property, but that would be a lien that he would have to deal with. Do you think if we give you about a month, do you think that you'll be able to have made the transfer, either the short sale, the pending short sale, or the deed in lieu?
I have the letter that I received it last week from the bank.
Is that the deed in lieu, or?
No. That the deal that's supposed to be done, the
Okay.
signing the documents for the short sale, I supposed to be out of the house the 24th of last month.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have everything packed. But until they don't, I signed the documents and gave surrendered the deal of the house and received the compensation that I need to move out. I haven't done anything like that. I'm waiting for a written answer from the bank, not for the short sale, because the short sale doesn't have anything to do. Deal with the bank. I receive a phone call. That's the only thing that I receive, a phone call from the bank suggesting to surrender the deal of the house in that matter, the deed and lieu, and that's it. But no document that I have to sign or anybody have to call and see. You give me a month, that will be, I think it will be fair. I cannot guarantee that in a month I can be able to, solve that situation, because it doesn't depend on me. It depends on a bureaucracy of the bank. I mean, it's the only thing that I had to add to a situation like that.
Okay, so how about we come back next month and you can give us a report?
I will. Even as soon as I have an answer, I can submit it to the city. When I'm standing on, because I know I'm standing under that roof. That's it. Legally, I don't know what I'm gonna do and where am I gonna go.
Okay, we're aware that the banks move at a snail's pace, so we'll come back next month and you can let us know what's going on, where we are.
And if you want to send me in written and copy of the papers, I have it all in here.
All right, so stay in contact with Miss Christie and let her know what's going on.
With her?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
We know
Thank you,
each
sir.
other. Thank you. We know each other. Can we do it? Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for coming.
Happy 4th of July.
Thank you. The next case, if you're ready to proceed, is agenda item 26, John F. Jakey, is that correct? For the property at 11410 North Bayshore Drive, KCEB&P 2013-00033. This is Code Officer Kearson's case, opened on May 4, 2013, to obtain a permit for interior remodeling and other alterations. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please state your name for the record and your relationship to the property.
I'm the owner, John Ferris Jelke IV.
Thank you. Mr. Kearson, if you would explain the circumstances, how you came to cite the property, and then we'll give you an opportunity to ask any questions of the code officer and to make any statement you wish to the court. All right? Thank you. Mr. Kearson.
Good evening. Ivy Kearson, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer of the North Miami Police Department. Property address is 11410 North Bayshore Drive. The property owner is John Jelke. The property now is vacant. This is a non-homesteaded property, and there are some life safety issues on the property. This violation came to my attention via the tenant that was there at the time. Made a complaint to me about some construction that was going on in the property. I then went out, took a look at the property. Then I called the building official, John Jackson. We proceeded, looked throughout the entire property. I took pictures of the property, and then because there was an extensive amount of work that was being done. Building with no permit violation ticket was issued, an amount of $500 to the property owner, and John Jackson then also placed a red tag on the building, ceasing all work that was being done at the property. I'd like to submit the pictures for the record.
Sir, the photos depict the house as it is. Have you seen the photos, and is this your house?
Yes.
Thank you.
The house is an original 1959 build. I have been trying to remodel it for quite some time, as you know. I bought it in 2006 at the top of the market, right in time to not be able to sell it. Not also a good idea to invest possibly $500,000 to make it up to be beautiful. This was a non-paying tenant. He was in the house to do work, to get it demolition ready, to have contractors come in and start the process. He turned out to be, let's just say, among other things, a terrible alcoholic. I complained from the neighbors many times. I was 6 months old, I moved to Keystone Point. I've been in North Miami, whether it's San Souci or Keystone, ever since. Everything is going to be taken care of. Because he had an eviction, which also restrained me from going to my own property, obviously at that time we were unable to continue to improve the property or to get a permit because I'm not allowed on the property. Neither would whoever I hired. Mm-hmm. So I kind of had my hands tied there.
Okay. Can you explain that?
As far about the eviction,
I never.
As far as having an architect or an engineer go to the property.
Okay. If you would, please introduce yourself.
My name is Jerry Dossi. I'm with South Beach Construction. I'm a general contractor.
Mm-hmm.
And what we plan on doing is meeting with Mr. Jackson on Monday morning to find out exactly what he wants us to do. We've already made I've already had in my office, we have our own engineer and architect We have an appointment to go into the property on Monday at 1:30. I will be at the building department at 8 to meet with Mr. Jackson and to see if there's anything on file, because all we have is an original plan. And it's for an addition that was done in 1971 by the architect. So we're going to have to, knowing Mr. Jackson, because I'm also a building official, he's going to want a complete as-built set of drawings of the house that it is in its condition as today, with a detailed scope of work that we're going to be doing to include plumbing, electrical, mechanical. And once we have all that ready, we'll submit all the permits at once, because City of North Miami requires plumbing, electrical, mechanical, and building permits to be all done at one time. And then we'll just go ahead and do what Mr. Jackson wants and get it all done expeditiously as possible. But I don't know a compliance date yet, because I got to see what Mr. Jackson's going to want. So if we can come back for a progress report in 90 days, I'll be able to hopefully either tell you I'm done, or we're still,
The only issue with the 90 days is the life safety issue.
there's nobody in the
But
property.
yeah,
Unoccupied dwelling.
it's unoccupied, so
Okay.
I don't think that would be an issue. But to kind of elaborate on what you were asking me, you know, they started a lot of work without a permit, and you know, them not having an architect or someone to do the work prior. I mean, that it kind of really doesn't make any sense. Someone should have been there to do the work, but the thing is, now I
They
got
have
them
a
here.
general.
They're here. I want to give them the opportunity to go ahead and try and correct this issue, because it's a lot of work that needs to be done.
I can see.
and
I
I've
think
already issued them a $500 ticket that they have paid,
Yes.
and so they're aware of it. I want to here now. I want to go ahead and give them the opportunity to meet with Mr. Jackson and at least get this ball rolling.
Okay, and I think
Now-
the city attorney wanted to add something.
I wasn't aware that you had issued a ticket previously, so
Yes.
I think that satisfies part of my concern in terms of some sort of adjudication.
And we
So
will, and we will,
I would recommend adjudication, and then they can, you know, have 30 days
Yes.
I'll give you a
to
progress
come
report.
back.
Yes.
Okay.
And Monday when we go by, if there's any open areas, we will board them up. But the property, as I know right now, it is secure, but we'll maintain it in accordance with all the laws of North Miami, the yard and all that.
Okay. Well, we're glad to see that we're making progress and that you're gone ahead and hired the general contractor, and I think that it will move a lot quicker. She seems to know exactly what she's doing and what needs to be done. Okay, so the city attorney has requested that I make a finding in favor of the city, and I do find in favor of the city. I do find the violation does exist. I do realize so there's been progress in that now we do have a general contractor that will take on the task of getting this done and get it done properly with the proper permit. And so we will. Did you say we will reconvene in 30 days?
That would be my recommendation, if it be your pleasure, Your Honor.
Okay, within 30 days so that we can get a progress report. And do you also need a daily fine amount? Or we can postpone on that until,
I believe you can postpone on that until the next hearing.
Okay.
And in terms of costs for today, I would leave that to your discretion.
okay, they've already paid $500. I think that's enough.
Thank you,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right, so we will see you back here on August 7th. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Let me just
Thank you,
review this.
thank
You're
you.
Thank you for coming tonight. I.D. Pearson. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Bye, Jerry. Thank you. Okay. The next case, if you are ready to proceed, will be agenda item number 13, Erica Chambers. Erica Chambers for the property at 1150 Northwest 127th Street, case CEIVY 2013-00085. This is Ms. Sanders' case, which was open on March 22nd. And this is, let's see, I believe this is a new case. Good evening. Would you please raise your right hands? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in the proceedings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please say I do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Do you guys understand?
Do you need assistance?
Yeah.
What
Creole? Do you need a Creole
Yeah.
translator?
No.
Okay.
We're going to have somebody assist you if you need assistance.
I think they do.
Parliament. No, la.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he looks confused.
Please state your name for the record and your relationship to the property.
Di nou pou enregistre li, ki relasyon gen pou propriété.
C'est
Non.
pour moi que
Non.
Abner Richemont.
Abner Richemont.
And how are you related to this property?
Ki relasyon gen pou propriété, se ou met ka la.
Moi, je me suis mais c'est Eric Axien, il passe son nom, Eric Axien, mais son machine m'a envoyé en Haïti.
Okay. I'm the owner of the property, but it was not signed on my name. It's Erica, who signed the deed, but he's the owner of the property.
He's the current owner.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Okay, we're going to start with Ms. Sanders, who will explain the violation. Ms. Sanders?
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. As already stated, the property address is 1150 Northwest 127th Street, showing that the property owner is Erica Chambers. It is an occupied property with no life safety issues that I can see in a non-homesteaded property at that. I cited the property for a inoperable vehicle, a truck that's located at the property. I spoke with the property owner, or more so the tenant, a couple of times about the vehicle. It has moved from the left to the right to the swell, moved back and forth, but at this present time the vehicle still remains. I'll let the tenant and or property owner explain why the vehicle is still there, but as of today, roughly 2 o'clock, it still remains.
Raison fait yo nou siti nou rede ou la redian parce que yon machine qui était là dans la cour. De temps en temps ou déplacer le ou monter le bag transport. So c'est raison ça fait nous dire.
C'est machine pas lié. Me dit comme ça que pas mon petit temps, on pas de comprendre cette machine c'est pour en Haïti lié. Pour côté pas que machine il va pas que sous zeb, il va pas que soit.
Okay, the car is mine, and I'm about to send it to Haiti. I talked to the officer, and I asked her an extension so that I can have time to send it back home. I'm going to send the car in Haiti, so I need some time to do so.
Is there someplace else that you can park the vehicle? Because where it is now, it cannot stay. How long do you need to send this car to Haiti?
Est-ce que vous l'autre côté vous mettez machine parce que côté pas qu'on y a pas légal. Est-ce que combien de temps besoin pour capable envoyer machine dans Haïti? Combien de temps ça prend?
En septembre
By September I will be able to send it to Haiti. By September we'll be fine.
That's a long way from here. That's where this is the beginning of July.
So
is there any place else that you can park the car?
Long, you see, ça fait 2 mois donc en juillet qu'on est. Est-ce qu'on a côté on mettre machine dans pas de temps?
Non pas de l'autre côté.
We don't have any other space to place the car. So it's a matter of financial situation. We kind of work now. That's why we don't send it right away. But by September we'll be ready to do so.
So what you're telling us is there's no other place either on the property or a neighbor's house or a friend where you can keep the car until September?
We have nobody. So, but by September we'll be able to get the money to do so. But we have no money to do that.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. because I think that you guys need to take this a little more seriously than it's not supposed to be there. It's a violation of city code for it to be there. So I will find in favor of the city, and I will give you until August. Where are we? July, August? Well, okay. Actually, September. You asked for September. You will have until September 3rd to remove the vehicle from the property. If you don't, it's going to cost you $25 per day.
Okay. Non vraiment vrai idée. So, your boys have septembre, 3 septembre pour faire ça. Si vous pas faire les 3 septembre, à partir de 3 septembre, on va commencer à payer $25 chaque jour.
Okay.
So, arrangez-nous pour nous faire ça en septembre. We'll do our best to get it done. We'll send it to Haiti by September the 3rd.
Okay. And that includes costs for today, too, as well.
Thank you very much for your understanding.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
I appreciate you for that.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm free to go.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Au revoir. Bonsoir. Au
Everyone
revoir.
has complied? What's happening in the city?
We had a lot of complaints.
That's great.
Your Honor, we do have some cases, seeing that there are no other property owners, agents, attorneys, or other people representing property owners. We do have a number of cases to present ex parte.
Thank you, Ms. Modestine.
And we will thank our...
Have a joyful holiday, everyone.
Have a
Happy
nice
4th of
holiday.
July.
And we will thank and discharge our translator. Thank you for your services tonight. We will see you in 2 weeks for the appeal hearing, ticket hearings, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
So we will take these in turn and just go right through these. We'll start with agenda item number 4 for the property owner of Venia Lewis for the property of 1200 Northwest under 22nd Street in Sanders case, CEODS 2013-00040, which was open on May 1st, 2013, for chairs, propane tanks, furniture, wood, and other items outside that need to be removed or stored away. Ms. Sanders.
Shannon Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officers, as already stated, the property address is 1200 Northwest 122nd Street, showing that the property owner is Avina Lewis. I don't see any life safety issues at the property. It is occupied. It is occupied property. I cited this for outdoor items that are located on the outside of the property. I have not made any contact with the property owner, but I have spoke with the tenants a couple of times. This was first brought to my attention while doing a sweep of my area back in, I think we did it in May of this year. Well, actually it was in April, but then I followed up on it on the beginning of May. Again, I spoke to the tenants. They removed some of the items, but as of this morning when I went to the property about 10:20, some of the items still remain. I do have pictures if you would like to see.
Yes, please.
As you're looking, you'll see that there's a sofa that's in the rear of the property. There are some dressers or drawers in the property, a couple of tires. I think there's a desk back there.
Can't really see the tires. What I can see from the photograph that you have presented, it seems like there's a couch or
Yeah, there's a sofa. There's a sofa in the rear. There's a dresser or a
and
drawer.
a dresser.
Armoire, I guess, what I would consider it. There's some tires that's against the wall on the west side of the property. I would have to look at the pictures to remember what else, but there's a few items in the back.
And you said the property is occupied?
It is an occupied property. When I was speaking to the tenants, they said that the owner lived across the street, but from looking at what the records show, it doesn't show an address located being across the street. But again, I've only spoken with the tenants, not the property owner. But again, some of the items have been removed, but some still remains. And with it being hurricane seasons, I want to really jump on it with them getting all of that stuff removed before the wind and the rain starts hitting in.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find in favor of the city. I find that the violation does exist. I find there is proper notice. The property owner has failed to appear. Hereby impose a fine amount of $25 per day with an abatement date of August 6, 2013.
We move on to the next case, agenda item number 8. Again, Ms. Sanders' case. This is for the property owner of Carmel Conze for the property address of 920 Northwest 123rd Street, case CE OSV 2013-00002. This case was opened in January 8, 2013, adjudicated in April 3, 2013, with an abatement date of April 30th, 2013. It was heard on May 1st and tabled to today. Code Officer Sanders.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. As of today, I inspected the property about 11 o'clock. One of the vehicles was removed, but there's still one oversized vehicle in the rear of the property. I did speak with the property owner at that time, and she asked, if not begged me, to come back about 3 o'clock, stating that when they went to move the truck that was in the rear of the property, she said they noticed there was a flat tire, and she promised me it would be removed. I even gave her a little more time and went back about little after about 5, and at that time the oversized vehicle still remained. I did take pictures if you would like to see.
Please. Okay, I do remember this case. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. I hereby ratify the daily fine amount of $25.
Thank you. We'll go to the next case. Just for the record, this will be agenda item number 17. We've been informed by the code officer assigned to this case that the case did comply prior to the hearing, so we're just putting it on the record. Agenda item 17, Franklin Squires at 1490 Northeast 141st Street, case CE EXP 2013-00031 has complied. Next will be Ms. Christie's case for agenda item number 19 against Frankie Serafin for the property address of 1020 Northeast 129th Street, case CE BLR 2013-00008. This is a new case open on May 28, 2013 for a building address violation. Ms. Christie.
Vito Lynn Christie, Code Compliance. This is case in regards to the address being posted on the property. We did conduct a courtesy inspection prior to my sending out the notice. I have not been in contact with anyone until today. We did send the certified mail, and I did post the property on the 20th with the notice to appear. However, I did meet the property owner today for the first time, and he stated that he's going to try to get the property cleaned up. But as of today, nothing was done. I do have pictures for the record.
Sure. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I find there's proper notice. The homeowner has failed to appear. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $25 per day with an abatement date of August 6, 2013.
Thank you. The next case will be Agenda Item 22, Code Officer Kirsten's case for Howard Renfeld for the property address at 2095 Northeast 121 Road, KC POF 2013-00002. A new case open on June 4, 2013 to erect a fence around the swimming pool or cover it. Code Officer Kirsten.
Ivy Kirsten, City of North Miami Code Compliance Unit of the City of North Miami Police Department. Address is 2095 Northeast 121st Road. The property owner is Howard Renfield, and the property is vacant. And this is a homesteaded property, and there is a life safety issue on this property. As stated, I initially observed the violation back on June the 4th, and I cited the property owner, being that I didn't receive any response from the violation. The civil violation ticket was issued, the amount of $500 for a failure to erect a fence, because they do have a pool in the back, and I do have a companion case for this property. And still haven't received any response from the owner. Received the certified mail back from the for the notice to appear, and the property was posted on. Property was posted on June 19th at 10:45 a.m. And I'd like to submit the pictures for the record. As you can see, the pictures were taken today, and it shows that there's no fence on the that would be the north side of the property, and you can see there's one picture of the actual gate that was there that's laying up against the building, and the pool is further around in the back.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I find that there's proper notice. The homeowners have failed to appear. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $25 per day with an abatement date of August 6, 2013.
Thank you. Next case is Agenda Item 23, a companion case for Howard Renfeld for 2095 Northeast 121 Road, case CEPOM 2013-00018, also opened on June 4, 2013, and this is to restore the water clarity in the swimming pool. Mr. Kirsten.
Ivy Kirsten, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer of the City of North Miami Police Department. Address is 2095 Northeast 121st Road. Property owner is Howard Renfield. The property is vacant, and this is a homesteaded property, and there are life safety issues on this property. As stated previously, this property was cited on June the 4th. I also issued a civil violation ticket for an amount of $500 for failure to comply with restoring the water clarity. Still no response. The certified mail letter was returned by the post office, and the property was posted on June 19th. 10:45 a.m. and I'd like to submit the pictures for the record.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find in favor of the city. I find that the violation does exist. I find that given proper notice, the homeowner has failed to appear. Hereby impose a daily fine amount of $25 per day with an abatement date of August 6, 2013.
Thank you. Continuing, this will be agenda item number 24, Ms. Christie's case against Jean Laniskar and others at the property address is 1161 Northeast 141 Street. Case CEODS 2013-00033. This is a new case open on April 19th for outdoor storage violation. Ms. Christie.
Vita Lynn Christie, Code Compliance, Police Department. Case was opened in April. I have not yet had an opportunity to meet with anyone at the property. We did send certified mail to the property, and the property was posted with notice to appear. As of today, only thing that has been done is the trees have been trimmed, but every other item still remains on the property, and I do have pictures for this record. There's second set of pictures.
Wow. Is this property vacant?
No, I've seen people going back and forth. I'm not sure if
I
they're
don't see
living
how.
there. It's hard to get to the front door.
It's hard to get through the front door.
Or the side or anywhere.
Yes. Oh, wow.
I know the water is cut off there, but
Okay, there's a lot going on this property. Is there a life safety issue with, I mean,
for the people there,
If, Your Honor, if anyone is residing there, would be an ingress and egress issue, which would be a fire safety violation.
I can see that. I don't see how they're able to access this property at all. Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence submitted, I find in favor of the city. I find that the violation does exist. I find giving proper notice, the homeowners have failed to appear. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $50 per day with an abatement date of August 6, 2013.
Next will be agenda item 33, which is Ms. Sanders' case, which she cited against Marvin Johnson and Blanche Johnson for the property of 1085 Northwest 122nd Street, case CEFAW 2013-00037. The case was open on May 16, 2013 for a chain link fence in the front of the property in disrepair. Ms. Sanders.
Shannon Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer, property address 1085 Northwest 122nd Street. Property owner Marvin Johnson. It is an unoccupied property which is not homesteaded and no life safety issues from which I can visibly see. As already stated, I cited this property for a chain link fence in or gate along the front of the property back on May 16th of this year. I have not had any contact with anyone from the property. I've sent a couple of letters on the 16th, 29th, and I'm showing on the of May and on the 14th of June. Again, no contact has been made to me. As of this morning, the fence still remains in the same condition. I do show that Pilar did certified mailing June 20th. I posted the property June 19th. I will have pictures if you would like to see of the gate and or fence that is down at this time.
Yes, please.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, together with the evidence that has been presented, I find that the violation does exist. I find in favor of the city. I find that given proper notice, the homeowners have failed to appear. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $25 per day with an abatement date of August 6, 2013.
Proceeding to the next case, agenda item 37, Code Officer Kirsten's case against Pacifica L52 LLC for the property address of 1930 Keystone Boulevard, case CESDM 2013-00010, a new case opened on June 5th, 2013 to plant and maintain sod in the swale area. Mr. Kirsten.
Ivy Kirsten, City of North Miami Code Compliance Unit of the North Miami Police Department. Property address is 1930 Keystone Boulevard. Owners are Pacifica L52 LLC. This is a vacant property. It is not homesteaded, and there are no life safety issues on the property. As stated, the property was cited on June 5th for failure to plant sod in the swale. I haven't received any contact from the owners. Did receive the certified green card from the certified mail, but it was an illegible signature, and the property was posted on 6/19 at 9:22 a.m. And I'd like to submit the pictures for the record. Okay.
Okay. Let me just identify. I'm sorry. I'm looking at photographs that were taken on this date,
Yes.
7/3/2013. And based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officers and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I find in favor of the city. Given proper notice, the homeowners have failed to appear. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $25 with an abatement date of August 6, 2013.
And the last case, according to my notes, will be agenda item 42. For Ms. Sanders, the property owners Tanya Diaz and Shirley Marcus for the property address of 1630 Northwest 127th Street, case CEMHO 2013-00017. This is a new case opened on March 11, 2013. And this is for the rear entry door and door to the storage room is open and unsecured, and both doors need to be secured and or boarded up. Ms. Sanders.
Shannon Sanders, City of North Miami. I'm sorry, I'm reading my notes. I do apologize. Shannon Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer, property address 1630 Northwest 127th Street. Property owner showing to be a Tanaya Diaz and Shirley Marcus. This is a homesteaded property that it's unoccupied with what I would consider to be no life safety issues. I am showing that I first cited this property back in March. Noticed that the door was open. I believe it was brought to my attention by the neighbor that people were coming in and out. So I inspected the property. The rear door was open. I sent a couple of letters back in March, April, and May. I do show that I put in a board up request through our code manager, Alan Graham. The property was indeed boarded up. So I don't know if we would consider that to be in compliance at this time, but I was still asked to bring this before the board due to, I guess, how we operate. Once the city boards it up, we still bring it up for, I guess, now the property owner still to be held responsible for it and gets better secure it in order to remove the boards and properly secure it. But again, it has been boarded up by the city, but we are still proceeding with this case.
And how do we proceed? Or we proceed to get back the cost of what it cost the city to board up the home, or do we still have to do an adjudication?
Yes, let me explain the situation. What we do is normally we get a call from the police department that they've responded to a house with an open door. We then send a work order to the Public Works Department to do a temporary board up. And that's basically putting some plywood over the door or window or whatever is exposed to the elements and or any people who may want to vandalize or trespass on the property. This is just a temporary emergency measure. We still hold the property owner responsible to come up with some definitive way of securing their doors and replacing broken windows at the property. And we, if the property owner doesn't do this, once the violation is cited, then we will bring it forward for an adjudication to put the property owner notice that they have to comply and they have to definitively secure their property. So we have the temporary emergency measure to secure the property, and then we bring forward the code case for an adjudication. And that's our city's practice.
Do you have photographs?
You know, I'm smiling when I say this, but I guess there would be nothing to take a picture of other than the door that's already closed. The door it's been boarded up already, so there's really nothing to see.
Okay. Based on, go ahead.
I would still recommend that you present the photo to the magistrate to view the property,
Okay.
or at least the door in its current state or state in which you saw it.
Well, that's the front door. As I said, it's already been secured. The bar door is still remains slightly open, but the wood door is secured.
All right. Okay. And these photographs were taken back in June, on June 20th of this year.
Yes, that's when I posted the property, and I believe I would have to pull the notes back, but I believe we boarded it up. I think it says June, in the early June we boarded it up, but again, we still proceed with the case, so it still depicts what the picture looks like at that time. It was in the same condition this morning when I looked at it.
Okay. Based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer and Mr. Graham, I find in favor of the city. I find that the violation did exist, and I find that they're given proper notice. The homeowners have failed to appear. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $25 per day with an abatement date of August 6, 2013, plus costs.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Sanders. Your Honor, that completes the call of the hearing cases for this evening. We have no old business or new business. So with it is now 7:10 p.m., and if it's your will and pleasure, we will adjourn for the evening, and we will wish you a happy July 4th holiday, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you. Happy 4th of July, everyone.